bread, the morning works look fine. You know the jockey's brothers are a friend of mine. And just a minute.
Hello racing fans and welcome to another edition of Handicappers Corner brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads and along with Drew Forster we're going to go through the Sunday, April 28th races at Hastings Racecourse, and we do have 8 races on tap. The traditional feature for the older horses, the George Royal, will be run today, and it should be a lot of fun. Some pretty nice colts in this race. It's going to be a tough one to handicap, but
it is.
Some pretty neat horses with a lot of nice resumes. So that'll be in race number 7, but 8 races on tap.
Turned out to be a very interesting race last year, with Almost Time getting up with big odds. Yeah. So, first test for the older boys. Obviously, the return of Commander, who ran in last year's Breeders' Cup Marathon. He's back, so we'll get right into it. The first race, 3-year-olds and up, claiming wide open 10,000. I got on the rail horse here, Mike, a lasting piece. He just ran in the same race and made no mistake. Won for fun, won by 3.5 under Frank Fuentes. Comes back. Faces pretty much the same suspects. I went with the horse that ran second to him in the last one, Arkhill. Arkill's a very useful little horse too, but the way the lasting piece ran last time, I just don't know if he can turn the tables on him. I have him in second spot. In the third spot, I put a horse making his first start this year, Texas Buccaneer. Made a lot of noise last year when he was claimed by Tony Cluche in our Endurance Series. 2 wins and a second, but he can sprint too. He's ran this distance 6 times in his life with 2 wins. So he's not just one-dimensional. He could make some noise in here under Fernando Perez. I went 1, 5, and 2.
Yeah, I agree. I like the lasting piece on opening week, and the horse ran huge. He's a cool horse. He's like 12 for 30 lifetime or something. He's a neat horse, and he can sprint. He can run long. He is a nice horse, and I don't see anyone here to really pester him for the early lead. So I think a lasting piece might win at a short price. Maybe you can use them in the doubles or pick 4s or whatever wager you like to use, but he looks like a pretty solid key in here. I went to the 3, Sufi Dancer for second. I think it'll be a battle between Sufi Dancer and Arkhill again for the runner-up spot. Sufi Dancer lost that photo last time, but perhaps can get the better of him with a race under his belt, but we'll see. But I went 1, 3, and 5. I definitely like a lasting piece, though, to kick things off. On to the second race. Some $7,500 claimers, non-winners of 3 lifetime. Got some fillies and mares here. I had a lot of trouble with this race. I ended up landing on the 4-horse Mazel Secret. A filly that got very good after the claim, broke its maiden for 3, came back after a tough trip and won again, and then lost the rider in his next start. And, gets Fernando Perez. I mean, had a... Gabriel Asensio was giving the horse fine rides, but I mean that's a big change from Gabriel Asensio.
Gabriel got hurt in the morning too.
He's out. Because I know he'd be on the horse, but it's been a tough morning for some Gallop boys, or a tough few mornings for some Gallop people. But the works are great. The barn's been going well. The last few 5/8s have been very good. I see a lot of speed in here, and I think Mazel Secret can just be quiet early, stay back. 6.5 will be perfect for her, and maybe come running at the right kind of mutual. But the 9-horse Lady Born in for second, and Aaron Greider rides. Tough post assignment, but the horse ran a good third, I thought, first time out. But the post is the concern. And the 6-horse Rabstrus had some races. Not the most consistent type, but maybe this horse was consistent here at Hastings, and maybe... returning to our friendlier Hastings Oval, Revster will get back, even though the horse didn't win last time, but still be a little more consistent and run good races. So I put her in for third. I went 4, 9, and 6.
I went to the 1-horse What's Up Betty. Hall of Fame trainer Alan May sends out What's Up Betty. Big odds last time, almost 27 to 1, and ran a corker. Just got beat by Exotic Light, who was the best horse that day. Exotic Light.
And What's Up Betty? Sorry, What's Up Betty's a good horse. I mean, that horse can win too. I mean, those are my 4. That 1 horse, I agree, it should be in the mix.
There is a lot of ways to look at this. I went with What's Up Betty based on that last race. She was much the best of the rest. Exotic Light got stopped and finally got through and was the best horse that day. Ended up beating What's Up Betty by length. But I was impressed with What's Up Betty's race, and coming back her second start off the bench. Alan May knows how to have him ready. I expect a big run from What's Up Betty. The second spot, I agree with Mike. I went with Lady Born in the second spot. Got a little wide on the turn last time. Out of the Pedro Alvarado barn, I think a race under her belt, she's going to get a lot out of it. She's still almost seemed a little green or something. Was trying to get in behind horses and stuff down the lane last time. A little cleaner trip. She could be right there. And in the third spot, I agree with Mike. I went with Revster. Another horse that definitely likes Hastings Park. Gets last year's leading rider, Amadeo Perez. another one that's live in here.
Right.
In a race that you could go a few different ways. Right. I went 1, 9, and 6. On to the third. 3-year-olds, optional 40,000. Really good betting race here. I went with the 4 I'm Not Gray out of the Craig McPherson barn. Peter Erkop claimed this horse last time out of Santa Anita for 80,000. So it was a nice horse down there. The buyers are big. Looks like it's going to be a handful in here. Not sure how it'll handle the Hastings Oval. There's been a couple of horses that have come from Santa Anita. Terry Jordan's Cabo Chico last week seemed to kind of get lost on the turn, you know, ran spotty. So it's depending on whether this horse makes the adjustment to Hastings, but he definitely looks like he'd be tough in here. The second spot I went to Major Dundee out of the Troy Taylor barn. Aaron Grider rides. I know this is a horse they were very high on last year. They thought this was one of their better 2-year-olds. Made no mistake out of the box. Won first out, and I believe bucked his shins in the second start. So you can kind of throw that race out. He's been training well, working forwardly. I know they have high hopes for Major Dundee, so I put him in second spot. And in third spot, I went with the 1 Mark out of the Mike Anderson barn. Mark spent the winter in Phoenix and had some success down there. Won a stake in his last start, a very gutsy race. That was on the turf. He's probably going to be better going long, but I like the fact that he's kind of the now horse. He's been running, he's fit, he's coming off a win.
If he's going to beat these horses, he's going to beat it. He's going to be competitive with them.
It's today, yeah. So I went 4, 8, and 1.
Yeah, I agree with the 4 horse. I'm Not Gray. I think the horse will handle it.
Yeah.
I think the only time horses don't handle haste, because our turns are quite nice.
Pretty
They're kind of mile track
yeah.
turns. But the straightaways are the problem. We don't have enough straightaway. And if you're a deep closer, then maybe you run into issues because you're asking your horse on a turn, and most horses coming up from California aren't used to accelerating on the turn and then keeping going, you know, having to switch leads and keep going again with your final quarter-mile move. But pace horses like I'm Not Gray, I mean, this horse should enjoy a good trip. I'm going to go to him as well. I put the 2 horse Proud Victor and the 8 Major Dundee. I mean, those 2 are interchangeable.
Yeah.
Major Dundee, as you mentioned, obviously something went amiss chasing Proud Victor last time. The horse was well meant first time out, ran to the hype, and then it did suffer from, obviously injured himself and was given the rest of the year off and been working well. And Proud Victor's a neat horse. What a great claim.
I know, I didn't have Proud Victor in there, and he is definitely a horse that could win.
What a nice horse.
Top 2-year-old here last year.
Fernando Perez, a ride, been doing a lot of the work for Greg Tracy, but a great claim by the River's Edge. So I went 4, 2, 8. Good little race, though, race number 3. On to the 4th race, maiden 4 granders, fillies and mares here. I'm going to go way to the outside. I'm going to flip over a couple pages. I like the 10, Princess Sparkle. I think this horse is going to run a big race. This horse kind of joined in at the end of the year last year. For whatever reason, the horse missed a lot of time. Didn't get to run till September. That's kind of difficult when you're running against horses that have run 5, 6, 7 times, and you're making your debut. I thought ran a creditable 4th against Timely Flight. That was a pretty quick heat for the level, and then came back around long, second start off a big layoff, and still performed admirably and ran second to Perky and Sweats. Perky and Sweats may not be the most high-profile horse, but that horse was competitive at Golden Gate this winter.
Yeah.
This isn't a bad horse. So, I mean, this horse's company lines are look kind of muddied, but they're better than they look. I think there's going to be some pace in here. It looks like the 6 Power Skater, the 8 Stormy Freeway, and I think Princess Sparkle can come nail both of those. But I do like the 6 and 8 as well behind. I went 10, 6, 8, but I like Princess Sparkle. Nice little work tab for Lenore Dubois.
I went with the 6 Power Skater, horse you just mentioned. Melanie Walter's horse has been running very good so far this year, and ran a good third in the first start. Switches from Tapia to last year's leading rider, Amadeo Perez. I see a lot of things going in Power Skater's direction. Has the start, gets Amadeo Perez, so I think Power Skater could maybe able to get it done today. The second spot I put Stormy Freeway. I would have had Stormy Freeway on top, but something happened in the race, her first out this year. After the race, she got a little wobbly. They finally got her up and got her off. But because of that, I'm just a little bit hesitant. Hall of Fame trainer Harold Barabee definitely knows how to have them ready, so I'm sure it's all systems go. But because of that, I was just a little hesitant to have Stormy Freeway on top. And in the third spot, I put Mahana out of the Tracy McCarthy barn. We mentioned in yesterday's show that Tracy is off to a really good start this year. A well-bred filly that shows up for bottoms first time. They're obviously not very high on her, but it wouldn't take much to top these, so I put her in the third spot. I have 6, 8, and 9. On to the 5th, fillies and mares, maiden, 25,000. Another, this is a good betting race too. There's a lot of different ways you can kind of look at it in here.
Trouble with this one.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I went to the far outside, Electric Girl, out of the Silver Gregory Barn. Ran a really good race last time in the maiden 25. Switches from Ruben Lard to top rider Richard Hamill. Richard had a few other options in here and chose to go with Electric Girl, so I will stick with him. I'll trust that he's picking the right one. In the second spot, I put the horse he took off of, Maney, who ran a big race, ran second in that last race. He switches to Electric Girl, Maney. They look like they're the two tough ones in here. And in the third spot, I put Sitka Song out of the Dave Forster Barn. Aaron Grider rides, and a well-bred filly by Warchant out of Great Mare Capilano. Obviously, not thinking this is going to be her best foal, but if she can run, you know, she doesn't have to run a ton to top these, so if she's got anything in the tank, I think Aaron Grider can get it out of her. I have her in third spot, 9, 5, and 2 for me.
Yeah, I like your 9 and 5. I went to the 6 Blue Minnow to win it, though. I'm going to try Robbie Anderson's runner. This horse has quite a bit of speed. I don't see a lot of speed signed on in here. I know Maney got the lead last time in 23 and 1, 47 flat. Well, if you look at the rest of her races, they're not really a pace horse. So I think the race is kind of there for the taking on the head end. I think Blue Minnow, a couple of those races last year were very good. That's second behind Always Red on Sunday. I thought it was a solid effort. Yeah. And the works are great. I think 115 and change. This horse is, you know, looks like it's ready to go. Nice comeback down to a half and 48. This horse looks like ready for a peak effort. Fernando Perez rides. I just think this horse might get the lead, and there could be some value here. I don't know exactly what the price will be, but I like Blue Minnow to win it. I agree with your 9, Electric Girl, for Sylvia Gregory and Richard Hamill. I think this horse is live. It was a good run last time, and same with the 5 Maney. I think those two horses ran into a good one in Honey Skila. That was a pretty good final time, but the pace scenario was slow, so I just think there might be able to be a pace horse in here that could sneak away, and I'm hoping that's the 6 Blue Minnow. So I went 6, 9, and 5 in the 5th. On to the 6th race. I got a full gate of 11 here. And even got one waiting to get in. Monster in the Closet, be good. I don't mind Monster in the Closet if he gets in.
If he gets in, absolutely.
So pay attention to the scratches. There's a boatload of speed signed on in here. But 4 Grand Claimers going 6.5. I went to the 11s. Swiss Arrogant. This horse is pretty. I think this horse is pretty live in here. Drops from 10,000. Had to chase a Lasting Peace last time. That's a tough assignment. Yeah. You know, he got chewed up by a Lasting Peace, so I think we'll win the opener today. So this horse, there is some other speed in here, but I think he can clear off. He's got to deal with none of that. Maybe Passion Red, Womb Broom. So he could get hung out, but we'll see. But it's the gamble you take. But at least it's 6.5. Got a good long run to the turn, got a decent race into him. So I'll try the 11 Swiss Arrogant over the 5 Huffman, and who continues to run game races. Horse is in good form again for Deirdre Bell. And the 6 horse, JJ's Gypsy, is my roughie here. This is the one a bit of a price horse. This horse had the 9-hole, raced much of the trip in the 5 path. It's only going to be 5 lengths to Ice Rules and Huffman and Romance and Traveler. This horse had nothing go right, and I think from the 6th hole, this horse might get a nicer trip and might be your nice 20-to-1 shot to get in there. So put the 6 JJ's Gypsy in for something. But 11, 5, and 6, and if the 12 gets in, look out for Monster in the Closet.
I went to the 2 Womb Broom Express out of the Steve Henson barn. Steve Henson's off to a great start this year. 6 starts, 3 wins, a second and a third. 5 of the 6 are running the money, 3 of them won. This is a horse always seems to be tough at this level, and was good off the bench last year, right? Ran a second right out and then come out next time and crushed in the same condition. So been working good right along. Stevie seemed ready, and Frank Fuentes knows this horse well. He's had success on this horse in the last. I see him maybe the speed of the speed. There is some speed in here, but he's versatile. You know, he doesn't have to have the lead, so there's some.
I just think he has to have it. That's my only
think
concern.
So?
I think he needs it.
I think if he can sit off it, he can be okay. But there is quite a bit of speed in here. I agree with Huffman in the 2nd spot. Tough old boy, 9-year-old gelding out of Deirdre Bell barn, and he just always seems to be part of it, right? He always seems to make some noise at some point in the race. And the 3rd spot, I put None of That. A horse that seems to be putting Robert Skelly. Just won last week. Wheels back in a week. Seems fit. Another one that got on a clear lead. I don't know if that's going to happen today. He might get chewed up a little bit in the lead, but maybe hang around and get a piece of it for the 3rd. I went 2, 5, and 4. All the way, geez.
Full
field in that one.
I know, that's a 4-page race.
Yes, it took me a while to get to the George Royal.
No shortage of horses at Hastings.
George Royal, great race here, good betting race. I see it almost, there's horses I left off the page here that I like. I went with Commander. He's the proven commodity here. Was definitely the boss of the Western Canada last year. Just win after win after win after impressive win. A lot of people say he can't sprint, but he did win sprinting last year. His first start in Edmonton, where he had a terrible trip. Was extremely wide in the first turn, extremely wide in the second turn. Was just much the best. Came down the lane under George Espedia and got up for the money. So he might even just go on the pace here and make him beat him. The second spot I put Shrug out of the Dino Condolinos barn. Swift Thoroughbreds has been running this horse in California. Just ran 2 good races in stakes races in Northern California. Definitely, if anybody's going to beat Commander, it's Shrug. I see, you know, Shrug looks tough. And the third spot I put Devil in Disguise. Another one of the Troy Taylor barn. Was a very nice 3-year-old of theirs last year. Looks really good as a 4-year-old. A big, strong, prize fighter type horse who's been training very well, working right up to it. I know it was a tough pick between Commander and Devil in Disguise for Aaron Greider. He went with the proven commodity in Commander. Devil in Disguise wouldn't surprise me. And a horse I didn't put in was Senior Rojo. He ran a big race opening weekend. And I'm not sure about him sprinting. He did run a big race sprinting, but I don't know about the second one. Those kind of distance horses, they might run a big one the first one. I worry about his second start going short, but that's why I don't have him in there. But another one could make some noise. I went 2, 7, and 4.
Yeah, I like the 7-horse Shrug. I just think this horse has a little bit of a pace edge and might be able to sneak ahead of Commander. But I hate looking at Commander's form because it shows you what grave mistakes you make as a handicapper at times. And here's a horse at 6.5 to 1 in Edmonton. I didn't like him.
Yeah.
Here's a horse at 6 to 1 at Santa Anita in the Breeders' Cup. I like him.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Yeah.
And
you didn't pick him in the previous last year, and you said he'll probably win by 10, which he did.
I just don't know. I'm ducking and diving with Commander, and I just never know when he's going to run a good race. But it's kind of odd where you didn't take 6.5 to 1 in Edmonton, and you take 6 to 1 at Santa Anita in the Breeders' Cup. Sometimes you do make grave mistakes handicapping and think too much at times. But I like Shrug over Commander. I think those are the 2 horses. Shrug coming up for the Swift Thoroughbreds. Good third to Gallant Sun and Moonshine Bay. Pretty nice horses down there, but still has to adjust to a regular dirt track. Been running on synthetic tracks and turf for a while, but still has run at Santa Anita okay on the regular dirt. But Commander's a cool horse, and the 4-horse Devil in Disguise is my 3rd horse. There's a lot of chances in here. I had no idea who to pick in this race. Shrug was...
Wilo Cat could make some noise late,
if there's pace. That's the thing. You need a pace, and I just don't see a pace. He's probably stuffed down on the inside. He's probably going to be last early, and that's going to hurt. Unquiet goes to the front. I see Shrug might get the nice, comfy trip outside of Unquiet, and that could be the winning trip. And Commander maybe boxed in behind and get out. Maybe he'll get out and win, but maybe it'll be too late. We'll see. But I went 7, 2, and 4. But a good little race. It'll be a rider's race. Whoever kind of gets a little lucky with the trip and makes some good decisions throughout the running of the race, that'll determine who wins the George Royal this year. Because a lot of them horses their buyers are close. Everyone's close in ability, and it'll be an exciting race. Should be a lot of fun. Right, on to the 8th and final allowance event for fillies and mares.
Nice
non 2, non 3.
Very good
going 6. We're going to back it up to 6 furlongs here. I'm going to go to the 1, Bilbao. Another one been running. Dino Condolinos, Swift Thoroughbreds, comes up from Golden Gate, or from Santa Anita, pardon me. I'm running on the turf, though. It still has to see how this horse handles the main track. But a horse definitely has been running against tougher horses, and Bilbao should be a little dangerous. There is some speed in here. The 9, Graffiti Grace, interests me at a price. This horse works very well last year, kind of coming into her own, and was going well, but ended up running 3rd behind stablemate Go Sail Go on BC Cup Day, and it was a big effort there, chasing some fast fraction or decent fractions. But the works are great. 59 to 4, 114, 101.
She works good.
The outside is probably a blessing. I think she can kind of creep up on the outside early, kind of gallop up and get into a good position.
Pick her spot.
Heading into the first turn and be quite dangerous. And I put the 7, Dance the Wind. Here's a horse around 2nd in the Oaks last year. You get Sunnyside Gal, a horse that's a multiple stakes winner, won the futurity. So there's some nice. It's a tough little non-2, non-3. This race come up salty, but I went 1, 9, and 7.
I agree with the one, Bilbao. The reasons you mentioned, the racing edge, I think is a lot. You know, been running against
Santa Anita.
Exactly.
We're not talking Turf Paradise fit here. We're talking Santa Anita fit.
Exactly. She's been running against tough horses, and she's been running, and all systems go, I think, for Bilbao. I put Dance to Win, as you mentioned, out of the Carl Austin barn in second. Nice, honest filly. She just always seems to be, you know, making a good, honest run. As you mentioned, second in the Oaks last year. And in third spot, I put Sunnyside Gal. Surprising that she fits the condition, actually, when you look at it, that she's a non-3 BC bred. She has 2 wins under her belt. They were both stakes.
Champion 2-year-old.
Had a bit of a trouble adjusting from the 2 to 3-year-old year, but been training very well this spring. So I think maybe this could be her bounce back year for the popular Sunnyside Gal. I went 1, 7, and 6.
All right, that'll do it for our analysis of the Sunday, April 28th races at Hastings. Up next on screen, get your pencils. We'll quickly run through the picks again. Back in race number 1, I went to the 1-horse lasting piece, 1, 3, and 5. In race number 2, I went 4, 9, and 6. Like the 4, Muzzle's Secret, hoping for an off-the-pace victory there. Race number 3, I went to the 4, I'm Not Grey. I went 4, 8, and 2. In the 4th race, went to the 10, Princess Sparkle, 10, 6, and 8. 5th race, number 6, Blue Minnow. I got some strangers today. Hopefully some price horses are coming in. I went 6, 9, and 5. In the 6th race, went to the 11, way to the outside, Swiss Arrogant. Speedy Guy, 11, 5, and 6. In the 7th race, number 7, Shrug over the 2, Commander, 7, 2, 4. And then the 8th and final, calling for a Swift Thoroughbred late double. Went to the 1, Bilbao, over the 9 and 7, 1, 9, 7 for me.
Mike is trying to get his ROI up here.
Yes, so we're trying to get that going.
Taking some shots.
Always need that. You need the $20 or $30 winners.
That's right. Keep you going throughout the day. I agree with Mike, though, on a horse that will not be much of a price. The 1 in the first race, a lasting piece over the 5 and 2. In the second race, I went with Alan May's number 1, What's Up Betty, over the 9 and the 6. In the third, I went with another very short price horse, number 4, I'm Not Grey, over the 8 and the 1. In the fourth, I took a bit of a shot here, number 6, Power Skater, over the 8 and the 9. In the 5th, I went to number 9, Electric Girl, over the 5 and the 2. In the 6th, I went with the 2, Womb Broom Express, over the 5 and the 4. In the 7th, the George Royal, I went to the 2, Commander, over the 7 and the 4. And in the nightcap, I went to the Swift Thoroughbreds, number 1, Bilbao, over the 7 and 6.
All right, thanks for joining us here on Handicappers Corner. Just a quick reminder, don't forget next weekend is Kentucky Derby week. We have Kentucky Oaks Day on Friday, May the 3rd, so come on out here to the Derby Bar and Grill. Lunch specials. If you can't make it to Hastings, get out here to the Derby Bar and Grill. And limited seating available for Kentucky Derby Day. Come on out Saturday, May the 4th. Do phone and get your reservations. 604-536-2878 to make those reservations. So get out here to the Derby Bar and Grill and watch a great day of thoroughbred racing. On behalf of Drew, I've been Mike. Thanks for tuning in here at Handicappers Corner from the Derby Bar and Grill. We'll see you next time.
The guy's got him figured at 5 to 9. But make it efforts half, he wins it by a half. According to this here.